Yep. Good day, everyone. I'm here to discuss about our 4-way strategy plan report for the month of August. And today is the 27th of August, 2023. So the purpose of this review is to help us to identify the opportunities in our projection and to see how perfect the projection can be, both in the short term and in the long term. So um, we'll start with the review by sharing the screen so that you can be able to see it as we continue with the review. So we're sharing. I believe you can see here is a plain template that doesn't have any information. So both this as well would need to be deleted because we don't have any projection at this point in time. So you can see here, these are our projection. So let me explain the information on the template first before we start with the review. So this is a monthly review that we'll be doing every month. We've tested it in the month of, if you look at on my Facebook page, I was able to post the reports of the weekly performance over the period of the month of June, July, and now we're in August fully. So I'm doing this video to be able to explain in total how the information was gathered and the final update of the report. Also, there is an amendment you can see here, unlike the previous one, we've refined some additional inputs into our report. So it makes it more easier and also to be able to give us more assurance. So here is the current price position. So at this point, we always put the current price at the time of our review. So if we reviewed yesterday and the price was 93, and today we are reviewing and the price is 94, we're going to put 94 there, okay? So here we have our average gap. You can see here the product average gap. So what this means is that this is our estimate for the month. So we want to move from 90 to 94 or want to move down from 96 to 92. So this is just an average. Any figure can be put there depending on what we're expecting. This is the current high and the current low position at the time we are starting the review. And then over the times of the period, we are able to update as the market goes. Now, and this is our starting price when the month starts. So we have a starting price when the month starts. We have our projected high and low over the period of the month. And so based on this information, we have the last trend. So there is something we call a trend. So the trend means what is the position of the previous trend. So if the previous trend is high, then we are going to put the price there. If the previous trend is low, we are going to put the price there. So the trend concept is from another strategy, okay? So don't worry. All we now need to do is we know that there needs to be an information, a price in this position. So based on this information, then it's going to tell us what action to take based on the last trend action, whether to buy or to sell or to wait, and based on the current trend action as well, whether to buy or to sell or to wait. So you can see here both information are telling us to wait, so which means we don't need to take any action. So if both information are the same, then it gives us more assurance. But if both information are separate, are not the same, then all it's trying to tell us is that we should consider these two prices, which is our last trend price, which is this, and our start price, which is this. So if both of them are not the same, then that means there must be a price here and there must be a price here. And then what that means is that The highest of the price will give us a position to buy, and the lowest of the price will give us a position to sell. So once the market, so automatically we're expecting the market to get out of those range, and then the correct price or the correct market activates. So that's the whole concept of this. Okay, so now let's start with our actions and we continue with our post. So I've already prepared a data, so which I'm going to just be copying and pasting here, so, and you'll be now seeing the information and the actions that is supposed to be. So we already have, like I said, we already have the updates earlier. So now this is AUD So normally at the beginning of the period, we are only supposed to have, at the beginning of the period, we are only supposed to have this information. So what this information is saying is that, look, this is our starting price. We started at 93.9. Then what is our last trend price? So our last trend price is 91.7. Our last trend price is 91.7. So it's telling us that at the last time we reviewed, our price is 91.7. So when we started for the month of August, our starting price is 93.9. Currently, our highest price so also, sorry, let me put, so we are now reviewing the month of August. So when we started, our last trend price was 91.7. Our start price is 93.9. Our current low since the time we started is 93.6, and our current high is 95.9. So you can see here that the trend is giving us sell for both. So why is it giving us sell for both? Because there is no price here. So it's using the current price. The basis of this decision is based on where is the position of the current price to this other information, which is the start price and the last trend price. So for example, now, let's assume that our current price is 90, for example. You can see that it's still telling us to sell. Okay, so which means the market is going down. Let's assume our current price is 92. You can see it's telling us that based on the last trend, we should buy, but based on the current trend, we should sell. So what this means is that we have 91.7 here and 93.9. If you look at both prices, you see that 93.9 is above this and 91.7 is below the current price. So what it's trying to tell us now is that, look, sell at 91.7 and buy at 93.9. So if the market should go from 92 upwards, then we buy upwards till it gets to the maximum. And if the market should come downwards, then we should sell from 91.7. Although, if you look at this, 92 is below our current low. So which means, in real sense, this is not the real position as at now, because the real price should be in between these two positions, between 95.9 and 93.6. So let's assume now that we have 94 here, for example. So you can see here at 94, the market is telling us to buy. So which means we are covered to buy all the way, that we are, with this information, the market is telling us that we are good to buy all the way up. Both information, the last trend action is giving us a buy, and the current trend action is also giving us a buy. So we are confident that it is a buy that is going to give us a correct action of the market. So that is what this entails. Okay, so let's see the progress. So based on this, so let's copy the other positions for the month, and then we now compare with the current price and see if the progress of the market for the rest of the month. So as you can see here, the trend still tell us buy in both sides. For the month, our highest price remains at 95.9 throughout the month. So our current high remains 95.9, and then our current low remains it started falling down from 93.6 downwards to 92.9, 92.9, and 92.9. So, which means for the rest of the month, the market did not move out of these two positions. But in overall, comparing the trend between the starting point and the end point, our market remains static at the top, and it fell down from 93.6 downwards to 92.9. So at the beginning at 95, let's assume the market was at 95, for example. The market has grown. You can see the start price at 93.9. So the market moved from 93.9 upwards till 95.9. So that's what this is explaining to us. So we could have taken a buy decision at the beginning of the month from this period from 93.6 upwards, or from 93.6 downwards. So if you look at this period, for example, let's assume that the price, you can see that the market came down to 92.9. So when the market came down to, for example, 93.5, you can see that it's telling us to sell. So which means based on this information, then we are looking at this, the market is selling below 93.9. So if it goes out of 93.9, it's going to be a buy. But if it comes back inwards, as you can see here, then we are going to sell at because this is the highest point and it's coming from outwards. So we are going to sell downwards to 93.9. And then if it reaches 91.7, downwards we sell. And if it goes back up again to, for example, if it goes back to 94, then we buy again. So you can see that the template has changed again because the market has moved out of the sell range and is going back to a buy. So from this point on, both indicators are telling us to buy, then we follow the buy rule. So, but at the end of the day, at the end of the period, our current price is 93.8. So which gives us, like I said, we are in a sell range. So we wait until the market goes out of 93.9 and then we buy all the way upwards till the end of the month. Or if it comes inwards again below 93.9, then we sell downwards all the way down. Okay, so that's, and like our projection, we are aiming for a 97.5 and 7.6 rather if the market goes up, and we are aiming for a 91.9 if the market comes down. Remember, I told you today is still the 27th, so anything can still happen before the end of the month. But so far, the market is trending towards the low side. Currently, we are on a low of 92.9 according to this report, and then 92.9 is below 93.9. So basically now our current low price is 93.8, which is below this point. So we expect the market can still come downwards to below to 91.9, or at least below 92.9 or 92.7. Okay, so that's it. So let's look at the next product, AUD USD. So for AUD USD, our starting position is this, as you can see here, and our last trend is 0.659, 0.659. So this is based on the current price at 0.641. It's telling us that based on this, we are selling. It's sell that is going to give us a positive result. Okay. So, but let's look at the progress of the market for the rest of the month. So you can see at the beginning of the period, our starting price was 0.683 and it remained 683 throughout the month, while our low started at 0.662, it moved to 0.651, it moved to 0.648, and finally to 0.636. So our current lowest is 0.636 and our current highest is 0.683. And if you can see based on this, we can see that the market moved downwards from 0.662 downwards to 0.636, which made it give us an assurance that a sell would have given us profit at the end of the day. So let's look at the next product, Euro AUD. So for Euro AUD as well, let's look at the starting positions. For Euro AUD, the starting position, the starting high is 1.658, the starting low is 1.626, the starting price is 1.657. Okay. And our last trend, let's put our last trend figure there. Our last trend figure is 1.661. So let's look at what happened, the progress of the month. So, but from what we can see here at the start of the position of the period using this current price, the market is telling us that we should buy. Okay, so let's see if the market will surely go below 1.658 or above, below 1.626 or above 1.658. So you can see from the report here, the market never went. So you can see here, the market never went below 1.626 as the lowest throughout the period remains 1.626, but the market grew up from 1.658 to as high as 1.707. So giving us an assurance that a buy would have given us the profit that we desired for the period of the month. So also look at our targets. Our target high at the beginning is 1.686, and our market has surpassed that by reaching 1.707. So our market has surpassed that by reaching 1.707, and our low didn't go below 1.626. So that is it. So let's look at the next product, Euro GBP. So for Euro GBP as well, at the beginning of the period, we have our current high at 0.86, our current low at 0.857, our starting price at 0.857. Sorry, our current low at 0.854, our starting price at 0.857, and our last trend at 0.85. So according to this information here, it's telling us that based on this current price, we are going to buy. So let's see, though this current price is just the latest as at today, okay? So that's why, but let's see the progress of the market, if the market actually went up or the market actually came down. So like I said earlier, at the starting point, is either the market goes from 0.86 upwards or it comes down from 0.854 downwards, okay? So let's see the progress of the market. So as you can see, the market went upwards to 0.867, which gave us an assurance of a buy all the way. Although, as you can see here, we had a low of 0.853. So which means in this period, the market went upwards to as high as 0.867 from this period. Then after that, the market came down to 0.857, like I said, and came downwards to 0.853. So you can imagine when the market was at, let's say, 0.855, you can see that it's telling us that we should sell using the current trend. So what this means is that the current price is now in between 0.857 and 0.8585. So we are waiting for the markets to stretch out again before we know whether we are going to buy or to sell. But according to this rule, we are going to sell at 0.85 because it's the lower, and we are going to buy at 0.857 because it's the higher. Okay, so but according to the current price of 0.858, both information are telling us to buy, so which gives us more assurance of a buy. Okay, so the next product is Euro JPY. So at the starting position for Euro JPY, our starting price is 155.5. Our current high is 156.3. Our current low is 155.1. So which means the current price at this period is in between for 156.3 and 155.1. So let's see what happens during the period. Let's get our last trend price. Our last trend price is 158.1. Okay, so let's look at the other datas and see which direction the market went at the end of the day. So as you can see here, based on this, the market went upwards. The low position remained the same, but the market went upwards from 156.3 till it got to 159.4. So the current price, like I said, is now 157.6. So, but at the point before this point, the market went up to as high as 159.4. So what this is telling us now is that the market is now in between 158.1 and 155.5. So if the market goes above 158.1, then we are going to buy. And if the market goes below 155.5, we are going to sell. So these two positions now remains our control point for us to know when the market will be buying or when the market will be selling. And from there, we take our actions for the rest of the month. That will help us to take better decisions and also perfect our actions all throughout the rest of the month. Okay, so that's the plan. So currently now the market is at 157.6 and is giving us different decisions. So we wait, but as we wait, we know that at 158.1 we want to buy, and at 155.5 we want to sell for the next move. So our next product is Euro USD. So for Euro USD, our starting price, as you can see, is 1.105. Our starting high is 1.105. Our starting low is 1.094. And our starting price is 1.102. Our last trend price is 1.128. So according to this information, the market is telling us that we are going to be selling. Okay, so let's see the information for the rest of the month and see whether the market is in line with our projection or not. So for the rest of the month, you can see the high price went a bit to 1.0107, but at the end of the day, the market came down to 1.076. So we have more of a sell than a buy. You can see just the gap of 0.002 for a buy, but for a sell, we have a gap of almost 0.02 because the market moved down from 1.094 to 1.076, as you can see here. So it's all the way, it's a sell market all the way downwards. So that is the action that's giving us the profit for Euro USD, a sell. Our next review is FTSE. So for FTSE as well, at the start position, our start price is 77.20. Our start low, our start high, it's 77.20. Our start low is 76.25. Our starting price is 76.73. Our last trend at the beginning is 7-20. So not allowing us to take any action because we don't know whether the market is going up or down. But it's trying to tell us that, look, if the market goes above 7673, then we buy. If the market goes below 7220, then we sell. Okay. So, but at the end of the day, you see that the range of the market was still in between the range at the end of the day. So for this, although, like we said, the last trend, the static trend was 7730, and then the market started falling down from 7625 to 7515 to 748 and finally to 7290. So based on this, the market still moved downward. So we can easily use our data based on the first static position and project for the rest of the month using this. So next product is GBP JPY. So for GBP JPY as well, let's look at our. So for GBP JPY as well, our starting high is 182, our starting low is 180.9, and our starting low is 180.9, and our start price is 181.3. So our start high is so start high is so as we said, was our last trend price. Our last trend price is 184.1. So let's look at the progress of the market in the course of the month. So you can see that in the course of the month, the market only came down below to 180.4, and then it started going upwards 183.3, 184.3, and finally at 186.3. And you can see our position, our target is at 186.9, so we're almost there, but we didn't get there, but that was the direction. So the market actually went, and if you look at these two prices, 181.3 and 184.1, you can see that the market actually went above 184.1 because it's the higher of the two. The market went above 184.1 till it got to 186.3. And then the market did not, is just coming back now inside to the 184.1. And that is why. So the market is looking for the next trend. So it's either the market goes above 184.1 upwards, or it comes downwards below 181.3. Okay, so that is what will happen in the next trend. So the next is GBP USD. So as you can see, the starting price, the starting high 1.288, the starting low 1.276, the starting price at 1.285. What is our last trend? Our last trend is 1.315. So you can see from that so you can see from there that it's telling us that we should sell. So which means we expect the market to come downwards below 1.276 downwards, or below 1.285, as you can see here. So let's copy the remaining information and see the performance of the market for the rest of the month. So you can see actually that the market remains the same at the top. It never changed from 1.28, but the market came down from 1.276 till it got to 1.255. And then you can see that is a sell all the way for the market. So that's it. So that's all that our 4-way strategy is trying to achieve. We want to use this template to be able to help us to project the market effectively, so that we can be able to know the direction of the market, and then that will help us to know the actions that we need to take to make profit. Okay, so because I have a lot of products here, so I may not be able to explain the others, but I will just be copying. I'll be copying the datas into it, and then you can always pause it to check it out as it goes. So I'll be doing it stage by stage before the final review. Okay, so I'm going to start with identifying the current price, although the current price is more of the latest, so it may not really matter. But the first information that matters is our current high, our current low, our current high, our current low, and our starting price, and also our last trend price. So based on that, by the time we put in the current price, it tells us what to do or what to do next. And also this also gives us an estimate of our highest targets if you are going to sell. Okay, so let's go. You can see that the market came down from 1942 to 1889. Even as a sell, if you look at the trend, the high never changed and the low came down from 15,415 to 14,714. can see it's telling us to sell. So let's see the performance over the course of the month. You can see the market came down from 0.61 to 0.589, while the I remained the same. So which gives us makes our projection accurate as the sell market. For crude oil, our starting last trend is 81.6. So it's telling us that it's to be a sell based on the current price. Although the market was more of a mixed movement because the market went upwards and then reversed downwards in the last period of the month. So we can see the market went from 80.6 to 84.4. So it's because the current price now is 79.4. That's why we have it a sell. So let's assume the price was at 82. You can see both information are giving us the buy. So which means, and look at the two positions, 81.6, 80.3. So what is trying to tell us is that if the market goes above 81.6, we buy. If it comes below 80.3, we sell. Okay, so according to this rule, we didn't know this information at the beginning. So at the beginning, we only have these datas, these three datas, and the fourth one. So that's all we have at the beginning. This current price will always change. So that is not a condition. Okay. So based on these three information, these four information, we are now able to decide on what action to take. So we are going to use this information and compare it with these positions. So according to this, if you look at it at that point in time, 78.4 is the lowest. So what we are trying to say now is between these four prices, 1, 2, 3, 4, what is the highest price and what is the lowest price? So the highest price is 81.6. So we said if the market should go above 81.6, then it's going to be a buy. And if it becomes lower, then it's going to be a sell. Okay, and so the market went upwards to 84.4, and then it came downwards again and reversed back to the current position. So that's what the market has actually been doing. So that's why currently now is on a sell, because the market now is below 80.3 and downwards till it even go to 78. Okay, so that's the reason. So look at Nasdaq as well. Sorry, look at S&P. Our starting price last trend was 4615. So according to this, our target is 44.25 downwards and upwards to 4715. But if you look at the movement for the month, you can see that our lowest price at the end of the month was 43.70. So which means we surpassed our target for the month. Can you see that? So the high remained the same at 4605, but the low came down from 4535 downwards to 4370. Okay, so you can see here it's a sell all the way. So that's it. Yeah, so I think we've had, okay, let me add USD I think we've had a lot to understand from this report that I've done. So it helps us. So you can see, so let's go back to see how the market had been based on the decision that it has given onto us. So you can see here, set sell, the trend has been a downtrend all throughout. S&P market has been sell trend all throughout. Crude oil, sell. It went upwards initially and reversed back downwards again. So that's for both sides. And New Zealand USD is a sell all the way. Nasdaq is a sell all the way. Gold is a sell all the way. GBP USD is a sell all the way. GBP JPY buy went upwards, buy. This is actually a buy from the second week or the second period of our report. Okay, so you can see it never went below 180.4. So in as well, we can say it's buying from 184.1. So if we had bought from 184.1, we would have gotten a profit from 184.1 to 186.3. FTSE as well, from the market went initially to 7730 and then came down from 7625 to 7290. So even though it was above this, but it came in once again and then it never went out again, as you can see here. Euro USD is a sell all the way, the market from 1.094 to 1.076. Euro JPY as well, the low remained the same. So the market went from 156.3 till it achieved the highest at 159.4. Euro GBP as well, it went upwards to 0.867 and then downwards to 0.853. So, but initially, as you can see, 0.85 and 0.857, it never went below 0.85. So it went all the way above 0.857 and got to the highest of 0.867. Euro AUD2 as well is a buy all the way. It went all the way from 1.658 to 1.707. AUD USD is a sell. It came up from 0.662 to 0.636. And AUD JPY, it came down from 93.6 to 92.9 or 92.7. Okay, so we just want to use this template to be able to explain the direction of the market and help us to be able to know what action to take. I believe this has been able to explain the template better, and hopefully we'll be able to follow it up in the month of September as we enter into the new month. Thank you very much. This is the review of the 4-way strategy plan for the month of August 2023. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I remain yours and only Oluwase Fadare, and you can reach me on fadinvest@yahoo.ie. Fadinvest@yahoo.ie. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.